All right, today we're going to do something a little different. Our source isn't some new study or breaking news. Nope, we are diving into a digital time capsule, a Microsoft Word tutorial written in Bengali from Bangladesh way back in 2007. And believe it or not, it is packed with some surprisingly timeless wisdom. So let's get this straight. This isn't really a software lesson. Think of it more like a guided tour. We're going to walk through this document together and see what this anonymous guide from the past can teach us. And not just about Word, but about how you explain complicated things with real clarity and a whole lot of passion. Okay, so first up, let's talk about the author's vision. Because to them, Word wasn't just for typing up a quick letter. Oh no, it was way, way bigger than that. Right off the bat, the author hits us with this bold declaration. You can just feel the enthusiasm coming off the page, can't you? For this person, the software wasn't just a program, it was a complete package, something that could do almost anything you could think of. The excitement is just palpable from the very first sentence. And this perspective really sets the stage for the whole thing. The author didn't see a word processor, they saw a full-blown design studio. They promised you could make everything from visiting cards and reports to banners and even logos. It wasn't about typing commands, it was about empowering you to be creative. But our guide knew you can't just jump into the fun creative stuff. You have to master the basics first. And for them, well, it all came down to one single, unbreakable rule. And I mean, they literally stopped the tutorial just to deliver this one piece of advice. They frame it as the one thing you have to remember, almost like if you get this right, everything else will just fall into place. It's such a great teaching technique, right? Building up the suspense for the big reveal. And here it is. So simple, but honestly so profound. The golden rule. Select it first. The author points out that basically all frustration comes from forgetting this one step. You're clicking the bold button and nothing's happening? Why? Well, it's because you never told the computer what you wanted to make bold. It's such a basic lesson in how to talk to technology. And just to make sure it really sinks in, they give us this perfect, crystal clear example. You write the sentence, you select the specific word you want to change, here it's Bangladesh, and then you hit the bold button. It's this kind of step-by-step thinking that makes the whole guide so effective. So once you've got the golden rule down, our guide takes us to the next level. This is where we get the secret code of the power user, keyboard shortcuts. I mean, look at these. Ctrl plus C, Ctrl plus V, Ctrl plus B. These are like the ABCs of using a computer, right? And what's so amazing is that these shortcuts, laid out in a tutorial from 2007, are the exact same ones we use today. It's a pretty powerful reminder that some things in the digital world are actually incredibly stable. Okay, but this is my absolute favorite part of the entire document. The author doesn't just list the shortcut for cut, they give us this fantastic little memory trick. See, Ctrl plus C was already taken for copy, so what looks like a pair of scissors? The letter X. It's so charming and clever. There's no way you're forgetting that now. Now, beyond just text and shortcuts, the author really wanted to help people create those beautiful reports they talked about. And to do that, they offered this really simple mental model for finding your way around the program's menus. This is a question every single one of us has faced when learning a new piece of software, right? Where is the button to do the thing I want to do? Well, the author has this brilliant language-based solution. The logic is just beautiful in its simplicity. You translate your goal into a verb. You want to add a table. The verb for that is insert. So the command is almost definitely going to be in the insert menu. This isn't just a tip for Word, it's a universal strategy for figuring out pretty much any program. And this simple idea is so incredibly powerful. Once you grasp the insert concept, you've unlocked how to add all this complicated stuff. Pictures, charts, equations, without having to memorize where a dozen different buttons are. The author isn't just teaching you a list of commands. They're teaching you a system. Now we get to the end of the tutorial, and this is where the personality of our anonymous guide really, really shines through. I mean, listen to that. It's just so wonderfully humble and formal. It's not the kind of sign-off you see in an online tutorial these days, is it? There's this genuine sense of care and a deep respect for the person reading. You can tell they really saw themselves as a guide and just hoped their work would be helpful. And then, right after that super polite, formal text, we get this. A big burst of colorful, almost playful word art asking for feedback. This contrast is just fantastic. It shows us the two sides of the author, right? The serious, respectful teacher and the creative, enthusiastic designer who just loves playing with the very tools they're teaching. So digging through this 2007 tutorial shows us something important. The core principles, like selecting first, using simple logic to find your way, and, teaching with passion, they never really go out of style. Which kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other forgotten guides are out there, just sitting on a shelf, filled with this kind of simple, clear, and timeless wisdom?